Welcome back. So before we really get into the numbers, I wanted to circle back to something you mentioned earlier about Danville hitting that refresh button.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to put it. The city really is embracing a new chapter, and you can really feel that energy when you're there.
You're so right. There's definitely a sense of excitement and momentum building in Danville.
Yeah.
And speaking of momentum, let's dive into the financials of this portfolio. We've been talking about the potential for rental growth, so let's break those numbers down.
Okay, so we know that the portfolio is currently generating a gross annual rent of $304,860.
But based on our analysis of market rents and the potential for some strategic upgrades, we're projecting that number to jump to $405,600.
Wow.
That's a potential increase of over $100,000 per year.
That's huge.
Yeah.
But I'm sure some of our listeners are thinking, wait a minute, how realistic are those rent increases? Won't tenants push back? So how do we balance maximizing returns with keeping tenants happy?
That's a really important point. It's not about hitting tenants with massive rent hikes all at once.
Right.
It's about being strategic and respectful, aligning those increases with market conditions and taking care of tenant relationships. One approach we could consider is a phased rent increase,
Interesting.
where you gradually raise rents over time, maybe coinciding with lease renewals or after you've made some upgrades to the units.
That makes sense. It's a win-win.
Right.
Tenants see the value they're getting for their rent, and the investor sees that steady income growth. You mentioned unit upgrades earlier. What kind of improvements could we make to these properties that would justify those higher rents and maybe even attract a broader range of tenants?
Oh, there's so much potential. The properties are already in good shape, which is a great starting point.
Yeah?
But we can take them to the next level by focusing on some key areas. For example, we could refresh the interiors of the units with some modern finishes.
Okay.
Maybe update the kitchen appliances, add new flooring, or give the bathrooms a little facelift.
Those are great ideas.
Yeah,
I'm already picturing these apartments looking all stylish and inviting.
exactly.
What else could we do?
Well, we could think about curb appeal, too. First impressions are everything.
They are?
So maybe we enhance the landscaping, add some colorful flowers, create some inviting outdoor spaces. Even just a fresh coat of paint on the buildings can go a long way.
I love it. It's all about creating a sense of pride for the tenants,
Yeah.
making them feel like they're part of something special. And I bet those upgrades wouldn't just justify higher rents, but also attract a whole new type of renter who's looking for something a little more upscale.
Exactly. And remember, those upgrades don't just make the property look better, they actually increase its value. So it's a smart move for both short-term cash flow and long-term appreciation.
So we're talking about strategic investments here,
Yeah.
not just cosmetic changes,
Right.
stuff that can really impact the bottom line. But let's zoom back out for a minute and talk about Danville itself. We've talked about its economic growth and the diversity of its population.
Yeah.
But what about the city as a whole? What makes it so attractive to people who want to live there and to investors?
Danville's going through this really cool transformation. It's shedding that old image of being a sleepy southern town and becoming a vibrant hub for innovation, culture, and recreation.
I've heard a lot about the revitalization of the Danville River District. What's happening there?
The River District is a perfect example of how Danville's reinventing itself. It's become a magnet for new businesses, restaurants, art galleries, entertainment venues.
Wow.
You can walk along cobblestone streets, browse these unique shops, enjoy live music by the river. It's a really lively and engaging atmosphere.
It sounds like it has that live work play vibe that so many people are looking for these days.
Yeah.
And it's just one piece of the puzzle.
Yay.
Danville seems to be doing a lot of things, right? What about the city's commitment to attracting new businesses and creating jobs?
The city is actively working to foster economic growth.
Okay.
They're offering incentives to businesses investing in infrastructure improvements and promoting a business-friendly environment. They understand that attracting new businesses is key to creating jobs and keeping the economy strong.
It sounds like they have a smart and proactive approach to economic development, which is really encouraging for anyone thinking about investing in Danville. Okay, let's shift gears and focus on the individual properties within the Danville portfolio. What makes each one unique, and how do they contribute to the overall appeal of this investment opportunity?
Each property has its own personality and attracts a slightly different type of tenant,
Okay.
which is great for diversifying your tenant base.
It is.
So let's start with 324 Cleveland Street. This property has 24 units, all one bedroom, one bathroom, which makes it a really manageable investment.
Okay.
It's less than 6 minutes from downtown Danville and just 2 minutes from the Dan River.
Wow.
So residents have easy access to both the city scene and the beauty of nature.
It sounds perfect for young professionals, singles, or couples who are looking for a low-maintenance lifestyle but still want to be close to everything.
Exactly.
What about the other properties?
Okay, so next we have 304 Roberts Street.
Okay.
This one has 8 units, all 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. And it's even closer to downtown Danville and the River District.
Oh,
It's
wow.
practically right there on their doorstep. So it would be perfect for people who really want that urban lifestyle and want to be in the heart of the action.
I can already picture them enjoying their morning coffee at a trendy cafe or taking a walk along the river after work.
Yeah, exactly.
What about the last property in the portfolio?
And then we have 126 Banner Street. This one has 12 units, all 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and it's conveniently located near Danville Community College. So it would be a great option for student renters or anyone who wants to be close to the college and all its amenities.
So we have a really good mix of properties, each with its own unique appeal and target audience.
Yeah, and that diversity is a strength.
It is.
It broadens the potential tenant pool and reduces the risk for the investor. And I can't emphasize enough how important the location of these properties is. They're all strategically located near those major employers.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
It's all coming together now. A portfolio of well-maintained properties in a growing market strategically located near key amenities and employers,
Yeah.
with plenty of room for rental growth and those value-add strategies we talked about.
It's a great recipe for a successful investment.
It really is. The Danville portfolio offers a fantastic opportunity to invest in a city that's on the rise. It's a chance to generate passive income, build long-term wealth, and be a part of a community that's embracing a really bright future.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Welcome back to the show. So we've spent the last couple of segments really digging into this Danville portfolio, and I gotta say I'm feeling pretty optimistic about what we found.
Me too. I think the Danville portfolio is a perfect example of how investors can find these emerging markets
Yeah.
and really be a part of a city's comeback story. It's like you're catching a wave right as it starts to build.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
So let's kind of bring it all together. What are the key takeaways here for our listeners who might be thinking about investing in the Danville portfolio?
Well, we've seen how Danville is really transforming itself, attracting these major employers like Goodyear Sova, Health, IKEA,
Right.
creating a really solid economic base. And that means there's going to be a steady need for good housing, which is exactly what this portfolio offers.
And those potential returns we talked about are pretty impressive. A 6.08% cap rate is a really good sign. And the possibility of increasing the portfolio's income by over $100,000 a year is definitely exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And the location of these properties is a huge plus, too,
Right.
being so close to the Dan River and downtown Danville.
Right.
And they're all just a short drive from those major employers, so it's convenient for tenants.
And let's not forget the potential for even more growth through those strategic upgrades we discussed.
Absolutely.
Even small improvements can make a big difference when it comes to attracting those higher-paying tenants and increasing the overall value of the properties.
Exactly. And when you look at the data on similar apartments in the area,
Right, like those lease comparables?
exactly, it's clear that the Danville portfolio is priced competitively. So there's plenty of room to raise rents without scaring away potential tenants.
So it sounds like this is a great opportunity to invest in a market that's growing,
Yeah, it is.
with a lot of potential for rental income and appreciation. Danville's diversified economy, its strategic location, and those ongoing revitalization efforts
Yeah.
all point to a really bright future for the city.
It's a chance to get in early on a city that's really on the move. And this portfolio gives you a front row seat to all that growth and opportunity.
I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, but as always, we like to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Of course.
We've talked about phased rent increases and those strategic upgrades, but what about the bigger picture? How can an investor approach this portfolio, not just as a bunch of buildings, but as a way to really contribute to the revitalization of Danville? Could there be ways to partner with local businesses or get involved in the community and make a positive impact that goes beyond just the financial returns? Those are some things to consider as you weigh the potential of the Danville portfolio. Thanks for joining us, and happy investing.